I'm Roger Skillings from the Vic High class of 1968.
And I'm James Jong from the Vic High class of 2016.
It's our honor to tell you about another illustrious Vic High alumni, Hans de Goede.
When Hans missed 2 basketball practices because of his part-time job, his Vic High coach gave him an ultimatum: choose either basketball or work. He didn't really have much of a choice because de Goede needed his job as an usher at the McPherson Playhouse to help with family finances. That decision turned out to be a stroke of good luck because he turned his attention to rugby in grade 12, and the result was 24 international caps and an outstanding rugby career. Hans de Goede credits his Vic High rugby coach, teacher Tillman Briggs, with inspiring him to become an all-star at all levels of the game. Playing in the scrum and second row, de Goede was selected to a Greater Victoria High School all-star team, which played 2 matches in Ireland and 1 each in England, Scotland, and Wales. Hans was born on February 13, 1953 in Amsterdam. He immigrated with his family to Canada in 1957, intending to head to Manitoba to farm. But on arriving in Toronto, an immigration officer asked if they had any family in Canada. When they said their mother had an aunt in Victoria, before they knew it, they were on a train headed for the West Coast. They boarded the CPR's Princess Marguerite in Vancouver for the final leg of their journey here to Victoria. Hans and his 4 brothers began their education at St. Louis College, but the cost became prohibitive. Hans switched over to Central Junior High for grades 9 and 10 before coming to Vic High for his 2 years of high school. He played soccer with the Vic High Thais and also played rugby as a tight end in grade 12.
After graduating from Vic High in 1971, Hans got what he called a great surveying job in the BC bush. When he came back in September to register at the University of Victoria, he was told he was too late to register for that school year. He instead enrolled in trades training, became a carpenter, and never looked back. Hans spent his 20-year rugby career with the James Bay Athletic Association. He was also on the Victoria rep side, the Crimson Tide, for 15 years and represented Canada on our national team for 13 years. Hans was selected captain of the 1987 Canadian team, which took part in the first World Cup of Rugby, held in New Zealand. He was also named to 2 other World Cup teams. He played 7-a-side rugby for Canada at the Hong Kong tournament from 1980 to 1982 and was his team's captain the final year. Hans is most proud of his children, Jacob, Tyson, and Sophie, and his wife Stephanie, who was the first captain of the Canadian women's rugby team. When he was fresh out of high school, BC Lions head coach Eagle Keys invited Hans to their training camp. 1 week into the camp, Hans told Keys he had to return to Vancouver Island to play in a championship rugby match for JBAA. Keys grabbed him by the shoulder pad, shouting, "You're crazy, you're crazy." Eagle had no idea how wrong he would be.
Over the next 2 decades, Hans won 8 Roundsville Cup provincial rugby championships with JBAA and went on to become Canada's best international rugby player. His brilliant playing also paved the way for numerous other Canadians to follow him onto the rugby world stage. From the class of 71, we're honored to spotlight another great Vic High graduate, Hans de Goede.